Welcome to Knifemaking.com. Today we're going to take a look at a new product, a ceramic glass platen from Belnap Custom Knives. Now I've been wanting to replace the flat platen on my Origin blade maker for a little while now, and I got the opportunity to try out one of Belnap Custom Knives ceramic glass platens, and I was very pleased with the product. So it comes very well wrapped. The ceramic glass is 2 inches by 8 inches, standard size for a majority of the 2x72 grinders out there. And it comes with a double-sided tape from 3M, it's a VHB tape, already applied. This is a very easy installation. And ceramic glass platens, the benefit of them are they're very flat, they last a long time, and they certainly should enhance the ability to create some really nice flat bevels. This is my worn out flat platen. After just a few years of use, it's got gouges in it, it's got scratch marks in it. Some of this can be cleaned up, but in reality those gouges just can't. And any of that stuff will affect the finished product. Taking the flat platen off is very simple. It's usually just 2 bolts. I've got mine actually sitting sideways, just so you get oriented. This is the old flat platen, and I'm just going to clean this off, get rid of all of the grease on it. You don't have to really sand it or get rid of all the gouges and grooves. You just really have to degrease it. I just degreased it with acetone. Now, a lot of flat platens require that you put a ledge on the bottom, either welded on or bolted on, or a shelf, I guess they call it, to hold the glass in place while they're glued in place. Darrell's concept is ingenious in its simplicity. Using this very strong VHB double-sided tape from 3M, you apply this, and I'll show you. You just peel the back, align it, and it's easy to align because you can see through the ceramic glass. So get it perfectly aligned and then just drop it flat right onto the flat platen. And you can use this immediately after it's installed, but this glue actually will increase in strength for the next 2 or 3 days. After 3 days, it's reached its maximum strength, and it's basically going to stay like that. You don't have to worry. In the future, if you ever did want to replace it, you can simply remove it with a heat gun. So I'm now going to bolt the platen back onto my Origin blade maker, 2x72. Tighten up the couple of bolts. So that the ceramic glass is nice and secure in place, and I'll give it a test. So what I wanted to do was not only do a bevel, but also do some profiling. So I just kind of hogged into a piece of, this is 3/16 AEBL stainless with a very coarse grit belt, and I just wanted to see if there would be any damage to the glass platen. I'm putting a decent amount of pressure on this, certainly a decent amount of heat. And I'm concentrating all of this on one corner or one edge of the platen, just so that I could take a quick look to see if there was any damage. I also put a finer grit belt on, and I finished off a flat bevel. And I was very impressed. It's a very simple upgrade to most 2x72s, and I was very pleased with it. It's a nice flat surface, and I'm going to enjoy this. I took the belt off. I took a really good look at the glass platen, and there's no damage or even any signs of wear. Now this is a new segment I'm going to try to add to these videos as they come up, called Tricks of the Trade. So while putting this knife together, the insert on these hybrid scales is cherry burl that my friend Rick Schwarz actually found a piece of firewood, and he soaked that in cactus juice to stabilize it. But when I profiled the scales, I did find some wormholes. So I'm just going to show you how we can fill those wormholes. I took an extra piece of the cherry burl, and I just sanded it to create some sawdust. I'm going to use a Starboard CA glue. This is the Starboard thin CA glue. I'm going to pack the sawdust into the wormhole. I really like this Starboard product. It hardens really, really hard. It's a quick drying cement. It also has this this applicator that allows you to just precisely add a drop or two exactly where you want it. And so all I'm doing is I'm putting a drop or two. It's going to soak into that sawdust, and then I'm going to let it completely dry. You may have to do 2 coats for a deep repair like this. And then once it's dry, you can sand it. I sanded with a 320 and a 600, and then I polish like you would polish wood or almost any other handle material. So the combination of the sawdust and the CA glue, in this case from Starboard, and the end result is a set of scales that was salvaged rather than thrown in the garbage because of a wormhole. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel. By all means, check us out on the web at DIYeasycrafts.com, at bergknifemaking.com, and I'd like to give you an invite to join us on our Facebook group, Knives and Knife Making, where you can post images of your own builds, and certainly you can pick the brains of some experienced knife smiths. And lastly, I'd like to ask you to check out the book that Jason Northgard and I put out last year called Introduction to Knife Making. Thank you very much.